Hey guys, Kevin here, and today in today's video I want to talk about the most effective form of self-defense, but it's not for everybody. Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about what I feel is the most effective form of self-defense, and it's not for everybody, and it doesn't always work depending on how you train, okay? And if you haven't guessed it, I'm talking about a handgun. Having a weapon, a handgun. Now, I know there's kind of controversy about gun laws and all that, and I agree there should be stricter gun laws. But to me, the most effective form of self-defense is a firearm. But the key is, you have to train with it, just like you do in martial arts, just like your martial arts training. If you don't train and train for specific things, if you don't train for self-defense and you're training for competition, you're not going to be prepared for a self-defense situation. You have to train specifically for self-defense and specific situations, whether it's being grabbed from behind, whether it's being a strike, whatever. You have to train those defenses and be proficient at them. Same thing with a handgun. Too many people will buy a handgun, learn how to, put the rounds in the magazine, put the magazine inside, learn how to chamber it, learn how to pull the trigger, and that's about the extent of their training. That's not going to cut it. And then they put it away in a drawer or wherever they put it in their home, and they think that because it's in the home and because it's there, that, okay, I'm safe. Or even if they carry it with them. Say they carry it on them. They have concealed carry permit. They go the extra mile and get that. They carry it in their purse. They carry it on their person. And if they don't train with it, it's not going to do them a whole hell of a lot of good. It's better than nothing for sure. But you still, if you don't put rounds through this thing and take it to the range at a regular basis and train with it, practice with it, be able to load your rounds in your magazine without even looking, being able to load your weapon, pull out a fresh clip, pop it in without looking, being able to shoot from different positions, which you can't really do in an indoor range. Most won't let you do that. But if you go to an outdoor range, you can shoot from different positions, whether it's laying down, kneeling, whatever. And if you don't train those things and become tactically proficient, that's the key. If you don't become tactically proficient in its use, it's not a whole lot of good. A lot of times, people will pull out their weapon after buying it, never putting rounds through it at the range, never practicing with it. And if you do, adrenaline is so high in a self-defense situation, especially when you pull this out, then your hands are shaking because your adrenaline's pumping, you're scared shitless, you aren't going to hit the broadside of a barn. Your trigger pull, you're just going to yank that thing and it's going to pull and it's going to cock and it's going to throw your rounds off. You've got to be able to use it properly. But if you do the training, if you put in the time, get trained, take a class, take a firearm safety class, take a real class, not just a quick thing that they have at some of these places to just pump you through, but find a reputable instructor, take a class, especially one that puts in like combat tactics, how to stand, how to walk with it out safely, how to keep somebody from taking it away from you. Because if you never use it and you're out there and you're shaking and you're afraid to pull the trigger, you think it's just going to scare people off, and you're afraid to pull the trigger, then there's a good chance it may be taken away from you and used against you. You've got to train. You've got to train. And this also goes back to self-awareness. Knowing what you're willing to do to somebody in a real self-defense situation to ensure that you go home safely to your family. And that leads into shooting somebody. If you think that you are fully able to point a weapon at somebody and pull the trigger, there is no, oh, I'm going to aim for his foot and wound him. I'm going to aim for his hand or his arm or his shoulder and wound him. I don't want to do any real harm to him. I'm just going to wing him. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. In the military and through military police training, through the Army, you're just trained to shoot center mass here, because that's where you're going to stop a person. You're the police force. You're not training to wing him in the shoulder. I'll graze his arm. I'll shoot him in the leg. I'll shoot him in the foot. Center mass. And that is why, all your critical organs are here. That's what you're aiming for. You want to stop this incident from happening. That's why this is only used and only pulled out in serious self-defense situations. This is not pulled out to scare somebody. This is not pulled out to intimidate anybody. This isn't like pulled out to fire warning shots. Okay? This is pulled out. If you pull it out, you better intend to use it. If you point it at somebody, and you'll notice I haven't even pointed this at the camera because I see myself. If you point this at someone, you better do it with the intention of pulling the trigger. Okay? You don't point a weapon. You always assume it's loaded. You never point a weapon at anybody unless you're willing to use it. So, I don't want, this isn't a video to get into like firearms training and tactics and all that. But this, I believe, is the most effective form of self-defense, especially as you get older, or if you are unable to defend yourself physically with martial arts, self-defense tactics, combatives, that kind of thing, hand to hand. All right. If you're severely limited, if like myself, all right, I can defend myself, but my knees keep me from running away to safety. So yeah, I always trained in self-defense seminars. I would train my students. You do what you need to do to stop the attack and then beat feet out of there and get to safety. Well, if you can't beat feet and your knees keep you from running, you must stand your ground and defend yourself and end the attack to make sure that that person isn't going to continue it, so that you are safe and you can walk away to safety, or keep that person, subdue that person, or put that person out of commission to the point that you can wait till help arrives. But for those instances, I believe a handgun is the best self-defense, but it has to be done responsibly. So it's something to consider. I know there's anti-gun people out there, but I'm talking about responsible gun ownership. There's not everybody that owns a gun is careless, is going to pull it out just because they're angry and somebody cuts them off on the road and they pull it out and start shooting. That's the exception. There are responsible gun owners out there. And if you ever consider, if you have one, if you already have a weapon and you already have a gun, a handgun, or even if you have a rifle or a shotgun for home safety, get out to the range and use it. Be a responsible gun owner. Take it serious. This is deadly. This is not a joke. This isn't something where you can change how hard it hits. You pull the trigger, something's going to get seriously wounded or killed. It's last resort, only in life-threatening situations. Okay? But if you have a gun, you have any kind of firearm at all, be responsible. You can't just be technically proficient, knowing how to load it, knowing how to clean it, knowing how to disassemble it. That's technically proficient. Knowing all the ins and outs, that's technical. You have to be tactically proficient. The military trains their soldiers to be technically and tactically proficient. You have to know the weapon inside and out. You have to know how to disassemble it, clean it, assemble it, load it, clear it, everything. You have to know how every function works. Then you have to be tactically proficient. You have to go to the range. You have to practice. You have to put in hours. You have to put in rounds through the weapon and practice shooting at different distances, different times, being under stress, you have to train. Get a trainer. Be trained properly in proper firearm safety, proper firearms use. And if you can find a trainer that will train you properly in tactical handgun technique, being able to walk with it, pull it, clearing a room, scanning the environment, those types of things, and how to safely hold it so that you're not putting anybody in danger, those types of things. Find that instructor, put the money into it, and become tactically proficient with your firearm. All right? So I just want to throw this out there because a lot of times people think that, oh, I train in the martial arts, I'm invincible. They have it in their mind that from what they see on TV and all the movies that if I learn martial arts, I don't need a handgun. Well, guess what? Martial arts aside, martial arts would be your first step in self-defense would be to verbally talk your way out of it and avoid it altogether, or talk your way out of it and defuse the situation. Then if it gets physical, where it's just a physical push, somebody goes to throw a punch, those types of things, then you're talking your self-defense martial arts techniques. But if somebody pulls a weapon, a knife, or a gun, this is your best defense. I'm not going to sit there and try and disarm somebody with martial arts that's holding a gun. I've seen what knives can do. I've seen the damage they can cause in a split second. I'm not going to sit there and try and defend myself against a knife, when I have a firearm. This is going to be pulled out, and like they say, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, but I'm not going to do any of that. I'm never going to pull this out unless I'm tactically proficient and confident in its use. It's the same thing. You've got to train with it just like you're training your martial arts. So let me know what you guys think, what your opinion are. If you're a gun owner, let me know. Let me know if you train. If you bought it and you've never really familiarized with yourself with it, you don't go to the range, you don't shoot it, be honest. Let me know, but I encourage you guys, if you are seriously considering getting a gun, I just want you to go about it the right way. Do it legally, of course, but put in the time, put in the training, just like you do with your martial arts, just like you do with your fitness or anything else you're trying to get good at. You've got to put in the time and the training. So if you found this video helpful, useful, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to share it with other people that you might think, can benefit from it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, and be sure to hit the notification button so you're notified every time new videos come out. I just wanted to throw this video in there because it's mostly martial arts. It's martial arts focused. However, self-defense is serious, especially these days. You just never know where the world's going to go. And being a firearm owner is having a firearm and having that level of defense, that ultimate level of defense. It's very helpful. It is, especially like I said, if you're getting older, you don't want to sit there and trade punches and prove who's toughest out on the street when your life's on the line. So, share this video and comment below. Let me know if you're a gun owner, what your thoughts are on handguns, how you train, what kind of training you do or have had with your handgun. Let me know. Until next time, train hard, don't ever quit, stay focused, and try to become the best warrior you can be. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.